The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
After the show I had yesterday, I want you folks to always remember the glass is always half full, never half empty. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach me this hour, 800-848-9222 on this gorgeous weather outing that we're having. Optimism. Always be positive, optimistic, and even the toughest of circumstances. That's why I'm alive to be here with you folks right now. Glass always half full, never, nada, half empty. There always seems to be a scheduling conflict. Saturday night is going to be very interesting. Didn't Bugs Bunny say that? Very interesting? I don't know. Maybe not. But the Inner Circle, a group of 100 reporters here in New York. I've been a member for more than 20 years, but I stopped performing years ago. The Inner Circle puts on a performance, lampooning politicians, really going after them, and it's all in fun, raising money for charity. This year's show is going to be very interesting. The mayor of New York City gets to put on a rebuttal using a cast from a literal Broadway show. That's how serious this is. So David Dinkins came in 92 riding a horse. Literally at a hotel, he came in the ballroom riding a horse. Mayor Giuliani came in drag one year. But this is the first year that Mamdani is set to perform. On stage, Mr. Mayor, when it's all in good and fun, are you going to lecture us on Islamophobia? If that's the case, put it in your pipe and smoke on that. Where I also wanted to be Saturday night, supporting law enforcement in New Jersey. It's called Blue Boxing in Haledon. I think that's how you pronounce it. The New Jersey Golden Gloves, the New Jersey State Finals. It's the Elite Division Championship, and I wanted to be there with retired officer John Mancini and crew, the Golden Gloves. It's going to be a great night, but I'll be forced to sit up there in a tuxedo listening to Mamdani. So that's Saturday night. That's Saturday night. By the way, I understand there's still tickets for the Golden Gloves event in New Jersey. I'll be there with you in spirit. Something is rotten in Denmark. Vicky Palladino. I've said all the time, I wish she were my council member. Something she put out earlier, she says on social media, just so everyone is aware of what's happening at City Hall today, a private seminar for council members and staff on Islamophobia, hosted by individuals with deep ties to terrorism who have repeatedly excused and even celebrated acts of terror against Americans and Jews in Israel, including Mahmoud Khalil. That's the clown that was up there leading the protest at Columbia University that Mamdani had over for a Ramadan meal at Gracie Mansion. This guy, and I wonder what the honorarium is. This guy, as we speak, is lecturing the far left city council on Islamophobia. Why would you permit that to happen? How did that happen? You don't think the mayor's bigfooting the city council to say you're going to hold a conference or an event on Islamophobia? I have never heard so much about Islamophobia than I have in the last month. Something is rotten in Denmark. What are you talking about, Dominic? Well, we have a situation where Madison Square Garden and the New York Knicks giving a standing ovation for NYPD Captain Aaron Edwards, which is the right thing to do. That's the captain in those patent leather shoes that jumped over the fence to tackle the terrorists.
He'll join us in honoring a 23-year veteran of the New York City Police Department, Assistant Chief Aaron Edwards. On March 7th, when explosive devices were thrown into a crowded protest outside Gracie Mansion, Chief Edwards jumped over a police barricade, ran toward the threat without hesitation, exemplifying the kind of courage that defines New York finest. Chief Edwards, we thank you for your service and your unwavering commitment to keeping this city safe.
So it's the right thing to do, MSG honoring this hero. You know who hasn't honored him? He had over for dinner that Columbia University agitator who at this hour is lecturing the New York City Council on Islamophobia. Literally. So he had him over to dinner, but you know who Mamdani has not had over or has not honored? He just doesn't like cops. He has not honored Captain Aaron Edwards. How do you not honor the man that saved so many lives? And Bruce Springsteen, listen, the boss, right? So you've had a great career, Bruce, but it's time to go sit down, man. Go sit down somewhere. That's a saying, folks, that we have in the black community. Go sit down, boy. Go sit down. It's like saying you embarrass it. Go sit down, boy. And don't talk until you talk to. Go sit down. Children are meant to be seen, not heard. Oh my God. You know how many times I heard that growing up? So what is Springsteen doing now? Go sit down, Bruce. Sit down, man. You know what he's doing now? Going on a tour to many cities against Trump.
Minneapolis, Portland, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Phoenix, Newark, Sunrise, Florida, Austin, Chicago, Atlanta, Belmont, Long Island, Philadelphia, New York, Brooklyn, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Boston, and Washington, D.C. The E Street Band is coming your way, and we are bringing hope over fear, democracy over authoritarianism, the rule of law over lawlessness, ethics over unbridled corruption, unity over division, and peace over war. Minneapolis.
Well, Bruce. In the rich tradition of the black community, boy, go sit down somewhere. You know how many times I heard that? Boy, you better sit down before you catch this backhand. I'm having flashbacks right now. 800-848-9222. But it made me into the man that I am today. Governor Pritzker, Illinois, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Dumb and Dumber. You and the mayor, Brandon Johnson. Boy, is Megan Kelly coming after you two. Of course, we're talking about the 18-year-old young lady from our area that lost her life, right? Because Dumb and Dumber, they want to argue with Trump. They don't want the National Guard in Chicago. And as a result, this is what happened because of Dumb and Dumber. Here's Megan Kelly.
The nerve. The absolute gall. To blame the absence of comprehensive immigration reform. Not a word about Joe Biden. The guy came in under Biden in 2023. Not a damn word. It's about Trump and the absence of comprehensive immigration reform. And then at the end, Trump and his policies. Not only did Trump, of course, obviously run on reversing Biden's open border, which he did, and on deporting all the illegals, but then he tried. Trump tried. He tried sending ICE to Chicago, not any place in Illinois, to Chicago. And the reason that didn't work out is because of that man. Governor Pritzker. Had this man allowed Trump to send ICE into Chicago to clean up Joe Biden's illegal immigration problem, Sheridan Gorman might still be alive. The reason Trump was stopped from doing that is that fat bastard.
Show us what you're working with there, Megan Kelly. Let's begin with Denise, line 2, Long Island. What's on your mind, Denise?
Oh, hello, Dom. How are you? Let me tell you, well, who cares about what the boss thinks anyway? Bruce Springsteen, he's a has-been. That's a waste of time. Anyway, these illegals, I work in the school with young adults. They walk in the school like they're entitled to do what they want. I think this is stemming, and as they grow older, they just do what they want. They do it in school. They get away with it. They refuse to speak English. They treat adults disrespectful. And, by the way, I was listening to your show yesterday, and that man, he was correct. I'm on Long Island, and I just saw on the news, News 12 is our local news, there was a 5-year-old girl raped by an illegal. So that he was correct.
Yes, he was correct, Denise. I'm trying not to go there today. I'm respecting the 5-year-old, but it really left me shook up through the midnight show, overnight, and that's why I started out today saying optimism. And with the show that I had yesterday, Mind Over Matter, always try and be positive, because I'm not going to get myself worked up. There are animals that have been permitted to come into this country, worse than animals. And you're right, these kids, they're so entitled, but they don't understand that the joke is on them because their life is over and they don't even realize it. They need to get one of those, boy, go sit down somewhere. That's what they need those mothers to tell them. But no, mommy is too busy out there finger popping, trying to get her man on, to get her groove on. Mommy is too busy out there trying to be a friend with the child. Daddy's nowhere to be found. I can say it because that was my case. Daddy was nowhere to be found. I've said this before. I will die with the fact that no man ever signed my birth certificate. On paper, I do not have a father. Literally. Denise, thank you for the wonderful call. We are going to take a break. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach us. And you know what? I do want to say this. To Margot and John Katsimatidis, thank you for being you. And here's what I mean by this. I'm sure many of you have heard that you have entire networks, radio networks, going out of business. CBS did. And the bottom line is, without John and Margot Katsimatidis, there's no Dominic Carter. Without Margot Katsimatidis basically handpicking me and putting me in this position, it wouldn't have happened. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I gotta prove it.
Prove what?
I'm not a mistake.
I never got a chance to thank Apollo for helping me out after Mickey died. But it's nothing compared to what you've done. You taught me how to fight again, and I'm going to go home and I'm going to fight this thing. But if I fight, I want you to fight too. I want you to go across this ring and knock that son of a bitch down. Can you do it? Say it.
I'm going to knock that son of a bitch down.
I know you are. You know why? Because you're a Creed, and I love you, kid.
Come on. All right, baby, let's go.
Go get him, Don.
Don't you just love the song? That little jingle just gives you the energy that you can take on the world, right? And so again, I'm thinking about the Blue Boxing that is Saturday night in Hilden, New Jersey, 276 Belmont Avenue. Law enforcement out for the Golden Gloves. It's going to be a great time, folks. I wish I could be there, but I'll be busy listening to Mom Donnie lecture us, hopefully not about Islamophobia. Since I'm talking about sports here, I'm also thinking about James Flippin is walking around here with his New York Mets world champion T-shirt on, right? And when I think about his Mets, I think about the team where I grew up in the shadow of the stadium. And that is, of course, Yankee Stadium and the legendary captain.
Gentlemen, to introduce our next batter, we turn to the voice of legendary New York Yankee public address announcer Bob Shepard, who passed away this weekend at the age of 99.
Now batting for the American League from the New York Yankees, the shortstop, number 2, Derek Jeter. Number 2.
You know, folks, I'm just fascinated by that, right? So, and that's a legendary sportscaster, announcer. You know, you say his name, number 2, Jeter, and then you come back for the killer, number 2, right? And I don't know, folks, I'm always looking at the marketing of everything. And the Yankees, they were very smart. I only got to meet Mr. Steinbrenner once, right? And I was there as a guest of the Yankees with my wife. My wife was pregnant with our daughter. And so we got to go down to the field, and it was a football game. And we go into the elevator. This is behind the scenes, the old Yankee Stadium. And who walks into the elevator by himself? None other than George Steinbrenner. So my wife, she was about 7 months. And yes, I'm a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Honey, we got to go out to the field. And she's like, oh, I don't know about that. These football players and so on. So we get out there. She was like, I'm leaving. And so I had to leave the stadium. But, you know, it's just funny, you know, because the Yankees were so smart. They had Jeter at shortstop, A-Rod at third. And the few games I would go to, you just watch all the women in the stands. And right as the pitcher's about to make the pitch, they would get into their defensive positions, right? Getting ready for the ball to be hit. Jeter at shortstop, A-Rod at third. I had never seen so many women at Yankee Stadium. Oh my God. Let's go to Robert, line 5 in New Jersey. What's on your mind, Robert?
Do you think Curtis Sliwa will run for president in 2028?
So, see, I'm always in a catch-22. If I say something about the man, then it's, why are you saying something? If I don't say something about him, you're going to ask me the questions. Time for a break, folks. We are coming right back.
Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And we are back. 800-848-9222. Back to the phones. Vivian, line 5, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Vivian?
Hello, Dominic. You're my hero. First of all, you praised Mr. and Mrs. Casamentini, but you prove yourself what kind of character you are and who you are. You're above and beyond what you can really reward. So I am your favorite, and I wish I can make those phone calls more often and talk to you about politics, but I want to reward you because you deserve it.
But Vivian,
you're one of the kind.
Vivian, did you receive it? Did you receive it?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Did you receive it? Did you receive it?
Yeah, of course.
The love I just sent to you through the radio, Vivian, did you get it?
I shut off the radio. I don't want to miss the phone call.
Well, I'm sending you.
I'll put it. I'll put the
radio. No, because it'll give feedback and all of that stuff, and it's on a delay. And so, from when we get the nut phone calls, you know, so when they think that they're getting on the air and, I just said something, beep, you don't make it to air. But, Vivian, thank you so much for the wonderful call. And it couldn't come, at a better time. Thank you so much for being so kind and being so nice. And yes, I'm sending nothing but love to you, Vivian. Thank you so much for the wonderful call. Let's go to Jay in New Jersey, line 4. What's on your mind, Jay?
Hey, Dominic. You know, you were mentioning the other day potential corruption between Curtis Sliwa and Zoran. And I just wanted you to respond because I heard Curtis this morning. he was saying that you were making that accusation as John Catsimatidis was meeting with Zora, and he says he's kissing the ring. So, I don't know.
Right. Now, what you're doing, I don't know if you're a plant call. I'm going to tell you why I'm not talking about Mr. 7%. I talked to a good friend who happens to be a male, and he says, Dominic, you're falling for the con. He doesn't care what's said about him as long as he's in the public's eye. And as long as you keep playing this game by commenting on him, you're falling into the trap. He's in a dead-end morning show, and he's looking to make a career, and you're giving him exactly what he wants. So I just find it very interesting. So Jay, do you really think I make my comments based on, the owner of the network is meeting with Mamdani, and so it's a conspiracy where I'm going to now go after Mr. 7%? Is that what you're really telling me?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I just wanted you to respond because he was getting really upset at you.
Okay.
I don't know if you listened to his show. But...
No, do I look like I have nothing else to do but listen to a dead-end morning show? Do I look like I have nothing else? Man, I can barely keep my head above water. And you think, first of all, I don't get home until 3 o'clock in the morning. And you think I'm up listening to a morning show on a dead-end radio station? Do you think Mr. 7% wants to be there? Absolutely not. Pull up some of the comments he's made about that radio station. He hates being there. He has no other platform. So I don't care if he gets frustrated. I don't care if he gets furious. I don't care if his wife gets frustrated. I don't care if she gets frustrated. I don't care what he does. So did that answer your question, Jay?
Yes, sir. That works.
Okay. Fantastic. And whatever he wants to say, tell him that Dominic said, good luck with that. Tell him whatever. Okay? Whatever. I'm not going to help resurrect his dead career. Not going to do it. And his career's been dead for 10 years. I'm not going to do it. All right, he was on life support when he was here. I guess they were just being nice to him. But his career has been literally dead for 10 years. Reciting that same old garbage at the boot camp, and Dominic Carter went to my boot camp. I almost said something that would get me fired, folks. Carlos, you was just going to have to beat me, the host of the show. But we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. We're just going to continue with some of the telephone calls. Let's go to line 3. Sandra in New Jersey. What's on your mind, Sandra?
Hi, Dominic. It's a beautiful day. I was listening to your show, as I always do, Optimism. And today, I have to say, I was very lucky. And I'm optimistic, I'm positive, and I'm grateful. Before I left to do my bike ride, I said to Michael, take your phone. You never know. Something can happen. He looked at me like, what? What are you talking about? Dominic, I was riding, and my mother taught me 50-50. What's your 50? I made a mistake. So I was riding my bike near Acme Supermarket where all the little strip stores are. I never expected, as I'm riding my bike, for an electronic door to open so fast, I missed it by a hair, Dominic. That would have been a very, very bad accident for me. And I'm very grateful that it didn't happen. And like I said, what's your 50? What's my 50? My 50 is now I know I can't ride over there. Even there, I have to be with the cars because look what happened. Yeah.
Okay, now wait a minute. We're glad you're okay, Sandra. So 1 minute you're doing 100 laps in the pool. The other minute you're riding a bicycle. Are you trying to tell me something, young lady?
I love exercise, and I also said to Donald Trump, I wasn't going to use my car if I don't need it. Instead of complaining about the rates of gas, I will take my bike, and today I bought some ginger, and I'll tell you about why I use ginger another time.
You bought some gin? You bought some gin?
Ginger.
I heard you. I'm messing with you, Sandra. So wait. Why did you buy ginger?
Okay, my friend taught me, and Michael, who has diabetes like you, he's taking it every morning. You boil a pot of water so it's purified. You cut up ginger in the water. You also add cloves, and you also add a stick of cinnamon, and you put that, and you drink it, and it's healthy. I add it to my water, because remember we talked about how we don't like drinking water. I add that to my water, and it's quite nice, but if you drink it straight every morning, Dominic, it's supposed to do wonderful things for you.
You know what? I shouldn't admit this, Sandra. I really shouldn't admit it. I really shouldn't admit this. You know what I had to drink this morning?
What?
I was so stressed out. Because of what happened to that baby in Suffolk County and all the things I have to do in my personal life. I had me about 3 Mountain Dews. So I'm sorry. I know diet Mountain Dew, but I really shouldn't have it. Right? I shouldn't have it. And don't hold me to this. Whatever you do, please don't tell your girlfriend, Liz, that I had 3 Mountain Dews today. All right. I did have oatmeal, right? But I had 3 Mountain Dews because I was stressed out. I had a million things to do. And I just don't have time to do the ginger in the water with the stick of cinnamon and what else goes in it.
I know. But
Wait. What else goes in it? You said cinnamon, ginger, and what else?
And cloves. You buy cloves, like a little bottle of cloves, and you put like a tablespoon in the mixture, and you boil it for 2 minutes. It's very healthy. Yeah.
So does it help your husband? Does it keep his sugar level down?
Well, I have to tell you, Dominic, I told Michael he should, and I'm telling this to you too, you should both consider, but you don't have the time, joining a support group for diabetes. You know why I say this, Dominic? If Liz tells you to do something, if I tell you to do something, if I tell my husband to do something, it's in one ear and out the other. But if you join a support group and you hear it from other people, the things that they're doing that might be helpful, you might take some advice from people that you do not know that have the same problem as you. I love that idea, and Michael.
So Sandra, the last caller just said, "Oh, are you up in the morning listening to the morning show?" Sandra, I'm on the radio twice a day, and I work 6 days a week. So when do I have time to go to a support group over diabetes?
You do it on Zoom. You don't have to go to the group. You could do it, but still, I know you don't have time.
Okay. And this week I've been averaging 3 hours of sleep a night, and especially about the baby, what happened to her in Suffolk County. I got about 2 hours of sleep last night. So you're telling me to go on Zoom and fall asleep in the meeting?
All right.
That's what's going to happen?
Maybe someday that might work, but for now, look, you had sugar-free soda. It's not as bad as if it had sugar.
No, but I'm not supposed to have Mountain Dew. Do you know how bad that stuff is for you? I mean, And you know what, Sandra, I shouldn't admit this either, but I had my oatmeal, right? So my wife makes my oatmeal, before I go, but I wasn't in the mood for oatmeal at first. I shouldn't admit this. I guess it's comfort food. Please don't tell Liz this. So there was a bag of chips on the counter, Sandra, and those chips, they were calling me. And I tried to go the other way. I tried my best. I almost said to myself, boy, go sit down. But them chips got the best of me, and they were delicious. I'm sorry. And so while you're the bionic woman doing 100 miles in the pool and bicycle riding and Sandra, thank you for the great call. But no, it's wonderful that you work out. 1, 2, 3. I'm with you in spirit, Sandra. I really am in spirit. Okay?
Yep.
So keep knocking them dead. Thank you so much for the call. Let's go to Chris in the Bronx, line 1. Chris, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic. I'm a first-time caller. So how you doing? Listen, I wanted to just tell you, when you always bring up about exercise and it's tough to do and you feel like eating what you want. First of all, I don't know if you heard about a mentor of Charlie Kirk who recently died because he played pickleball to work out and lose weight. He fell, hit his head, and he died. And so what I'm saying to you is do whatever you can, but you don't push yourself to exercise. Sometimes, it's not the right thing.
Right. But every time I go to the doctors, Chris, right, every time I go, well, can I have a salad and Burger King? Dominic, there is nothing that you can eat in McDonald's or Burger King. So, I mean, you just get tired of hearing that. But Chris, thank you for the encouragement. You're being so kind and so nice. Chris calling from the Bronx. Let's go to Michael, line 2 in New Jersey. Michael, what's on your mind?
Oh, you poor Dominic. Are you afraid to respond to Jay because you're scared of getting kicked off the air if you respond to him? Are you afraid?
See how I'm responding to you? See how I'm responding? Because, Michael, what you're saying right now, you're a complete joke. First of all, I've said this before, and I'll say it again for people like you. The Casamatides, they have every right to run their radio station the way they want to. Neither one of them have ever said one word to me about any issue, about Mr. 7%, or anything like that. So what are you talking about? I know you're a plant called by Mr. 7% who engages in all these publicity campaigns because it's killing him that he's no longer relevant. But guess what, Mr. 7%? You weren't relevant for the last 10 years. So what's the difference? So go ahead, Michael, with your plant phone call. Go ahead.
And Mr. Rudy Giuliani got kicked off the air for saying what? For saying that the election was stolen. So you're afraid to say the truth? You're afraid to talk?
I'm afraid to say the truth about what? What are you talking about? I'm afraid to say the truth about what?
To respond to Curtis Sliwa?
Why would he wants to engage in a fight? Why would I do that? Why would I give him what he hasn't been relevant for 10 years? He's damn near been senile on the radio for 10 years. Why would I respond to that fool? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Lose, Michael. I'm done. I'm bored with your nonsense conversation. You're a plant phone call, but I know how he gets down. See, you're forgetting, folks. I know what he does off air. And these schemes and scams that he engages in to stay relevant, it's all been at your expense for the last couple of years. It's nothing but one big show. Poof, an illusion to keep you interested in a career that's been dead for the last 10 years with absolutely nothing to say on the radio. And on that point, on that note, so I don't care what he says, but I tell you what, he won't say it to my face. I tell you that much. He won't dare say it to my face. He can talk all that nonsense on the radio. Man to man, you Mr. Guardian Angel, come say it in my face. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, final thoughts of the day. I'm punting right now so that we have more time to get your calls. I believe it's Drea, line 1 in Huntington. Good afternoon. What's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. You know, exactly what you said about that 2-year-old baby on Long Island. I feel your heart, and I was disgusted, absolutely disgusted about that story. And also a 14-year-old boy in East Harlem that time served, his illegal immigrant is having time served come April. And it just infuriates me to hear what they are getting away with.
Yeah, it's tough. The 5-year-old in Suffolk County that was assaulted, raped, forced to have reconstructive surgery. Yesterday, I can only say this one. Yesterday was a bad day for me, but solely because of that. The one thing throughout my entire career, I can cover anything. The one thing I can't cover is when I was assigned to cover the funerals of children. It's just something about those little coffins. I can't do it. I can't go into the church. I just can't do it. And then when I think about a crime like this committed against a child, you know, I just had a really real weak moment as a human being yesterday. Weak defined as how I really felt. And, you know, I'm back to when you do what I do for a living, you have to remove yourself to a degree in order to be able to cope with some of the things that you're talking about. And it's just horrible, you know, but thank you for the concern for that child, the 5-year-old, Long Island, that was, raped, allegedly, by the migrant that was babysitting her, the illegal. Let's go to line 3. Max in Manhattan. What's on your mind, Max?
Dominic, thank you for taking my call. You used the word Islamophobia before, and it's being used like this is a bad word to use. Islam has to do with the religion. Phobia means fear of. So fear of Islam. If we have in Plano, Texas, a place called Epic City where Muslims take it over, they build it up, they're building it nicely, but they don't allow you, Dominic, to move in there because you're not a Muslim. That means I have a fear of Islam. That's Islamophobia. And that's perfectly well-founded.
I hear you, Max. I hear you. Thank you for the call. Let's go to line 4, TJ in Brooklyn. TJ, what's going on?
Hey, Dominic, be kind to your feet being diabetic.
No, you're right about that. TJ, you're right about, I joke about a lot of things. I'm being real with you, but I've had the numbness in the feet and so on where you get scared when you run to the doctor. So you are 1,000% correct. Go right ahead.
Yeah, and Dominic, I'll send something to the station in care of you. I sell stuff to podiatrists, but you're very popular, by the way, in doctors' offices in Brooklyn and Staten Island. You're always on the radio when you walk in.
Oh, that's nice to hear from the doctors. And I love the doctors, TJ, that keep me alive. And oh boy. Thank you for the wonderful call. Let's go to Josie, line 1, Staten Island. What's on your mind, Josie?
Hi, it's me again for a while. Hi. Anyway, the lady just said the same feelings that I had yesterday. I could feel your sorrow in your heart yesterday with that little girl, and I'm the same way. And tell me why none of these parents sue Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, because they're so immune to lawsuits, meaning that it's almost impossible to sue them. It would just almost be a frivolous lawsuit because it's going nowhere. That's how many protections that they have. I don't know, Josie. I wish the child well, but I have to, for the sake of my own sanity, I have to move on from it. Thank you for the call. Let's see here. Let's go to James, line 3, Long Island. James, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, first time caller. I know we're running out of time.
Right, you got 20 seconds. Go ahead.
Absolutely tragic about this girl, but what's even more tragic is that they had to go around the sanctuary policies.
You're correct.
In order to get this guy arrested, and
he almost walked out the next day. You are correct. James. I wish we had time to follow up on that, but James is so correct. This savage almost walked the next day, but the prosecutors were slicker than he was. Folks, on America's darkest day, 9/11, America vowed to never forget. Help our nation keep that promise. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. T2T.org.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?